Hey, hey, what's up, everybody? What's going on? YouTube Finest Life is in the house, and y'all chilling with Unc. Yo, I just got a quick message. I wanted to talk about this because, I've been seeing a lot, I've experienced a lot, and I really think that this is an important subject. Hold on, I'm hearing echo. Hold on a minute, y'all. Yeah, my bad. Hold on. Okay, I apologize. Yeah, I wanted to talk about this subject because, man, listen, we got to do better. My subject title today is Respecting the Elders, Respecting Our Elders. And that's respecting the older generation. I'm looking and I'm seeing that a lot of older people are not being respected. They're being disrespected in a lot of cases. And, you know, like I said in a previous video, I don't like to see older people abused or taken advantage of. And but I want to speak on it, not to judge nobody, but just to maybe help somebody to do better, and just kind of lay out there how um, it's not okay in the eyes of God. In the eyes of God, it's not okay to be mean or disrespectful to people that are older, because God has them here for a reason, and one of the main reasons He have them here is for our benefit. Their wisdom helps us, you know, and it goes along the generation, you know. Um, you know, I know when I was younger, it was some things that the older folks would have to say I didn't agree with it. But like I said, I always listened. I listened. I gave them a chance to talk. I never disrespected them, you know. Now, I've gotten good advice, then I've got advice that I didn't take, that I didn't use. And it turned out it was good advice, but I didn't use it. So I made that mistake, you know. So I'm not saying they always right about everything, because I know that some older people can be a little bit difficult, but we still have to respect them. We got to respect them. So let me just give you, I did a little bit of research, and I'm going to break it down for y'all. I hope everybody having a good day. Um, Here in North Carolina, it stopped raining, but it's still cold out. But it look like it's gonna be a pretty good day. Every day God give us is a good day anyway. So, all right. So what I did, so I looked up uh the what uh what did the Bible say about us respecting our elders? Like, why is it important? So it says the Bible teaches that respecting elders is a core command, reflecting honor for God, involving reverence, care, and listening to their wisdom, especially parents. Now, even if that older person is not your parent, it's still listed under the same thing. Where the Bible say, "Honor thy mother and father, and your days will be long on earth. Our days will be longer." It's still the same thing when you talk about an older person. Um, like we have some people have being raised by the grandparents or being raised by you know other adults. It's still the same thing. We have to respect them all the same. All right, so you got Exodus 20:12 and Leviticus 9:32 with specific instructions to treat older men as fathers, older women as mothers, the church leaders with generous honor for their guidance. This respect isn't just verbal, but involves action, like providing for needs, avoiding harshness, and valuing their experience as a sign of righteousness. So it tells you, like, your mother, your father, your older church leaders. You may not always agree with everything that they say, but we got to respect them. We got to show them respect. All right, key biblical teachings on respecting elders. Uh, Command to honor parents. We know that. That's out of Exodus 20:12 and Ephesians 6:1-3. Command children to honor their father and mother in ensuring long life. That's one of the key things. But it's the same with your grandparent or your aunt, whoever's, uh, you know, over your life, that's responsible for you, or that's your elder. General uh, reverence for the age. That's out of Leviticus 19:32 says, "You shall stand up before the gray head and honor the face of an old man, as you shall fear your God." So basically, you standing up, uh, um, uh, you looking out for an older person. And wait a minute, I can't hear. Yeah, they cackling back there. Sorry about that, y'all. But where was I at? So let me see. Treating elders with gentleness. First Timothy 5:1-1 and 2 says, "Instruct to rebuke not an elder, but entreat him as a father, and the younger man as a brother, the elder woman as a mother, with all purity." All right. Then wisdom and dignity. That's out of Proverbs. Calls gray hair a crown of glory. The Proverbs 20:29 notes that gray hair is a splendor of the old Lincoln age with honor. So these are basically telling you the quality or the goodness of becoming old, of getting to the point of gray hair, and the value and the blessing that it is. All right, honoring church leaders. That's First Timothy 5:17 speaks of double honor, financial support, and respect for elders who rule and labor in teaching. So respect those people that's people of God that's over everything. And I listen. I know some people gonna say some people don't deserve respect because of their habits or whatever like that. But listen, uh, like the song say, let God deal with the things they do, because hate in your heart will consume you too. So you always respect anybody that's doing something that they don't have no business doing, especially in the name of the Lord. Oh, they will reap the consequences for that. So you don't have to worry about that. You just make sure that you're respecting your elders. All right, let's see. Submission to spiritual guidance. First Peter 5:5 encourages younger believers to be subject to the elders. That's basically looking up to them. Look up to the elders. Um, and let me see examples of scripture. Let me see how to show respect. Listen to their wisdom and experience. That's what I say. You can always listen. Always listen. You don't necessarily have to go with what they feel you should do, but listen. And you may find, hey, what they're saying to you is the better option. It's the better option. And it's good information. Like I had somebody to tell me a decision that I was about to make. And this guy, I'm talking about a life changing decision that I was about to make. And this guy told me, don't do it. Don't do it. I never even met this guy before. And I couldn't figure out why was this guy telling me don't do it, don't do it. And I went on and did it anyway. And that's why I remember it so strongly because I remember him telling me, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. And I did it and I had to suffer the consequences behind it. So, wisdom from the older folks, like, seriously, it can really, really help us in the future. All right, so let me see. Speak to them respectfully. This is the problem I'm having. I'm seeing a lot of people, especially the generation behind me, uh, they're being very disrespectful to their grandparents, to their great grandparents, and I'm speaking on this because I want to help people. Because I'm gonna tell you, if you continue on that path of being disrespectful to those people, those older people, one, just like the Bible say, honor your mother and father, your days will be long on this earth. If you don't, each day, each time you disrespect, you taking life off. You shortening your lifespan. And it's the same way with elders. When you disrespecting your grandma, your great grandma, you know what I'm saying, somebody trying to help you out, hey, you're robbing yourself. You're robbing yourself. All right, so let me see. Provide care and support, especially for those who are vulnerable. That's another thing. I've seen too many cases where people were taking advantage of their older parent or their grandparent. They manipulate them out of their valuables and their money and stuff like that. All of that stuff is not healthy for you. And I'm saying this, I'm for real. It's not healthy for you. I say that because you're taking away from your days here on earth when you're taking advantage of people like that. I can give you an example. Um, at the dialysis facility, it was a young guy that would come. His mom was on dialysis, and she was a little old frail woman. And he would pull up in the van, and she'd get out the van herself, and she'd grab her bag, and she walking hunched over, and she'd come and walk into the center on her own, and he'd just pull off. He don't even make sure she get in the building. He'd just pull off. And I'm like, how can somebody do that? Even the people that catch the transportation service, when they bring those people to the dialysis center, they make sure that they get inside and get seated before they leave. So how's this your parent, and you just pull off like that, like they don't mean nothing? And I wind up going. I would go out myself when I see them pulling up. I would go out myself, and I would get a wheelchair because the woman walked real, real, real slow. I would get a wheelchair and tell her, "Come on, I got you," and let her, come on and sit down in the wheelchair, and she'll hold her little bag, and I'll wheel her on inside the dialysis center. That's something that I started doing since I was out there waiting. But listen, I had conversations with this woman, and this woman, she blamed herself because, and she made excuses for him. She said that she used to smoke cigarettes all the time. And from her smoking cigarettes, she got COPD. And she caused her son to have breathing problems. So she feel because of her mistake, that's why he can't get up and move around the way he's supposed to, because I think he blamed her for him being basically overweight and, in my opinion, lazy. So I don't like that. I don't like that. But I know it's a time and a place you gotta mind your business sometimes. But it wasn't nothing for me to go and grab that wheelchair and going to help that woman come into that center. It was nothing for me to do that. You know, he ain't owe me nothing. He don't owe me no thank you or nothing like that. I did it out of the kindness of my heart. But all right, so what else we got? Avoid harshness and abuse. Yep. Recognize their role as barriers of God's legacy and wisdom. Yep. So the wisdom that they have, that they teach, that they can teach us, is something that's very valuable and can help us to make it to the next level. And then we take what we learn from them along with what we learned, and we take it into the future. And then the generations that come in behind us, we try to teach them some of those same values. So basically, what you're doing is you're wanting your next generations to be wiser and to be ahead of the game instead of running from behind trying to catch up. You be in front, you know, leading. You be leading instead of trying to catch up and trying to grab on to life. You be ahead, but it all depends on the individual that choose whether or not they want to listen or whether they want to take everything in their own hand and don't want to hear nothing you got to say. They got everything figured out. Then there's nothing you can do about an individual like that. But pray for them. All right, so that was it on that. So then also I looked up why is it important? Why is it in respect? Respect in itself. Why is this important? All right. Respect is important because it forms a foundation for healthy relationships, promotes emotional well being, and fosters cooperation and or cooperation and positive environment. It involves acknowledging the inherent worth of individuals, which lead to increased trust, better communication, and a sense of safety. Respect is also crucial for uh, sentinel progress, creating more effective workplaces, and promoting personal growth and self esteem. So, uh, respecting others and yourself is key and is very important. In relationships in society, it builds healthy relationships. Respect is the foundation for positive interactions, creating an environment where individuals feel valued and safe to express themselves. All right, enhanced communications. It encourages active listening and considering a consideration for different viewpoints, even when there's disagreement. That's one of the things that we're having a problem with nowadays. The viewpoints, the different viewpoints, the discussion about it. That's where we're failing because we have some people don't want to hear what other people have to say. Some people want to do things all their way. Um, you know, as God's people, we should be able to come together and have honest, decent conversations and come to agreements, fair, fair agreements that will benefit everyone. The problem with as to why we are not having that is because people have become so selfish that it's not important what anybody else have to say. It's all about what they want, and they're not worried about nobody else. That's a problem. That's something that we have to work on, and that's something that I've been praying that we can unite as God's people and do things together and look out for each other. All right, so let me see. Promote a sense of safety. When people feel respected, they feel more secure and less anxious, which reduces stress and builds trust. That's true. Fosters cooperation. Mutual respect leads to a more uh, harmonious environment where people are more likely to work together effectively. Yeah, that's what I was just saying. All right, then you have supports individual growth. Respecting individuals' experiences and providing support for their choices help build their self-esteem and confidence. So when you take time out away from how you feel and actually look and listen to a person and how they feel, basically what you're doing is you're putting your feet in their shoes from a viewpoint. You'll get a better understanding. You get a better understanding for how they feel and their values, and vice versa. You know, y'all all got to look at each other and look at each other's situation, and then you'll be able to come back and say, you know what, we can compromise. Let's compromise on some things. All right. Let me see. Did I do that? Support choices help build. Okay. All right. In professional and personal life, improve work environments. In a workplace, respect leads to higher job satisfaction, increased employee engagement, and better performance. You ain't never lying about that. Listen, ain't nothing like being on a job where everybody is unhappy. Nobody looks forward to coming to work because the whole environment is just down. I've been there. I've been there. But I also been on a job where the boss man was good. You know, the workers was good. We bust out that work. You know, it's like the whole environment is is more of a go getter type environment because everybody is happy, everybody is content, everybody is getting along, and it makes the day more productive, and you know, it makes you feel good. Makes you feel good about what you're doing, and it makes you feel good about coming into work. But then you got some is total opposite. Total opposite. Like, you know. Alright, so let me see. Encourages collaborations. Alright. It reduces conflict and negative interactions, creating a more positive and collaborative atmosphere. All right, and then what drives personal development? Showing respect for oneself is a uh, I don't know that word. I ain't gonna lie. For receiving respect from others, and it helps individuals set healthy boundaries and express their needs. That's drives personal development. Okay. An essential, I mean, is essential for progress. Respect is a vital and uh, societal development as it is enable collaboration and open sharing of ideas necessary for progress for various fields. So basically, you just respect is the key in a lot of situations in life. They talked about jobs, they talked about home, they talked about family, they talked about the elders. Respect is key, no matter what. In life, if you want to make it, if you want to get far in life, you have to have respect. You have to give respect in order to get respect. So That's key. That's key in life. But when you're talking about our elders, which this is the subject that we're talking about, I just wanted to talk about all around respect because you got to be a respectful person. You know, when it comes to our elders, like we have to give them the utmost respect, and we got to realize, like, if it wasn't for them, there would be no us. That's the state of mind that we need to have. A lot of people feel like I don't owe you nothing, but let's be honest, we do. Because without them, where would we be? There will be no us. So we have to realize that these people are a blessing. Their experiences that they're teaching us are blessings and that can really truly help us to be more successful in our lives. All right, so um, yeah, so that's all I had pulled up. But listen, I'm just gonna just speak, from the heart. Listen, me personally, I don't have grandparents anymore. All of my grandparents are gone. On my father's side, matter of fact, I never even met my grandparents on my father's side, but I know they both are deceased. Uh, on my mother's side, both of my grandparents are deceased, and these experiences, watching them uh, just before they passed away, and seeing how one passed away and how it affected the other one to the point where, um, well, let me just say, my grandfather was taken, and my grandmother, she she had a hard time dealing with it. She had a hard, hard, hard time dealing with it, and to the point where she had to get help. She had to get help, and after getting help, um, she did okay for a little bit, but sometimes some people, when you lose somebody, like you're never the same. Like you're never. It's like a a deep cut. Like even though they stitch it up, it'll never be the same. Like you'll always be missing. You'll be missing something. And in that situation, even though my grandma, she had people coming in and caring for her and trying to love on her, she still wasn't quite there. So eventually, uh, God called her home. She wound up passing away her own self. But I didn't really get to have a lot of opportunities to really have sit downs with my grandparents myself. My grandfather, he was known to be like a disciplined type person. If our moms told him that we was being bad, he didn't get no belts or nothing. He didn't beat nobody with no belts. He'd take his fist and take that knuckle and put it in the center of your forehead and hold the back of your head, and he called it mow your head. Time he finished mowing your head, your head be hurt. You have a little indentation in the middle of your forehead, and you straighten up. You ain't want no more problems. You ain't want to have experienced that no more. But I've never had no sit downs with him like that. And my grandma, I never had no sit downs with her even before he passed. Like I never had no conversations where she told me about this or that. I never had that type of relationship. But along the way, I've had some really nice people, some really nice people to come into my life. Matter of fact, at church, I had a guy, an older guy. He was my friend's father, and he would talk to me a lot. And you know, the stuff that he talked to me about and tried to teach me, like it was really valuable. Even though I made mistakes in life, but just having somebody there that care enough to try to school you on some stuff, that's important. It's important. And a lot of us take that for granted because there's a lot of people that don't have that, don't have nobody. And they feel like nobody care, nobody love them, they all by themselves. There's a lot of people out here in this world that feel that way. So if you have a grandparent, a aunt, somebody that's an elder, older than you, that care enough to try to talk to you about some stuff, even now, I get it. Some people come across a little bit aggressive. Some older folks come across a little bit aggressive with the information they're trying to give you, and a lot of young people take offense to that. But you shouldn't listen to them. Listen to them. That's just how they talk. Like my mom like a drill sergeant. Like when she talks, she aggressive and come across bossy, and other people have been offended by it. But me, like I know this, she's just a loud person, and she's aggressive when she talk. Like she don't mean you no harm. She just That's just how she talk. So I've learned that. But for some of my little nieces and nephews, they take offense and think she's yelling at them and stuff like that. But she's not. It's just that's the way she talk, and she's just very aggressive in how she talk. But she really love you and she care for you. If she didn't, she wouldn't say anything. She just sit there and just let you see you going down a one-way road in the dark with your headlights off, about to crash, and she just sit there and just watch you going on by and don't say nothing. If she didn't care, the fact that she's stopping you and trying to talk to you and trying to help you get on the right track, that's love. That should be appreciated, not criticized, or like that should be welcome. You should be welcome in that, you know. But anyway, I ain't gonna be on here long. I just really wanted to talk about this, and I'm hoping that these videos that I make, that I can make some kind of change. That I can change somebody's heart, and 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 that we can just love each other instead of being so angry and bitter towards each other, and not realizing the blessings. I want us also to look at the blessings that we have to even have somebody in your life that care enough to talk to you. You know, even if it is criticizing, they care enough to want to say something to stop you from ruining your life. Where somebody out here don't have none of that. They don't have none of that. Every choice and decision they got, they on their own. They don't have nobody to go to, nobody to talk to. They just in a world by themselves. And some people want to be like that. They just want to be in their own little bubble, and they don't want to receive no information from nobody. And then some people, they just don't know how. They don't know how to reach out for help. So they just settle and deal with things all by themselves. That's not healthy, and that's not good for you. You know. And I encourage people like that to seek, some kind of help, whether it's some counseling or whether it's a preacher or somebody. Seek some kind of help or prayer for that, because trying to handle life troubles and storms by yourself all the time, all the time, it's not good. It's not healthy. So I would hope that you would seek some kind of um, professional help or somebody to talk to you about this stuff. And I ain't just saying nothing about nobody. I've come to the point in my life where I found that getting counseling has helped me deal with stuff that I've been dealing with and I've been holding on to, and it's been helping me to deal with what I'm dealing with. When once upon a time, I thought you was some kind of sucker or something if you going and talking to a counselor or a psychiatrist or something like that. We laughed at stuff like that. But I'm telling you now, as a 53-year-old man, it's healthy. It's very healthy to do that. But anyway, that's all I got, y'all. Just wanted to hit y'all up with this quick video on Saturday. Listen, I hope y'all have a safe, blessed day. Y'all take care of each other. Take care of yourselves. And I'll see you in the next one. As I always say, love, peace, and blessings to all of y'all. I'll see you later. Peace out.